Taylor Swift is alleging that Blake Lively is lying.
She seems like kind of a jerk. Wow, she's like kind of a bully.
And she's just very sarcastic and snarky and just didn't come across well.
It was just a perfect act of evil that was almost executed.
Taylor Swift is reportedly telling the world that Blake Lively is lying. The friendship that defined Hollywood elite circles just hit a brick wall of legal documents and leaked text messages. For years, they were the ultimate power duo, but now the music icon is reportedly in full panic mode, desperate to distance herself from a lawsuit that is threatening to drag her into a courtroom under oath. It was not just a falling out, it was a public execution of a carefully crafted image. The silence from Taylor's camp was deafening until the receipts started dropping, and now the narrative is shifting from sisterhood to self-preservation. This is the moment the golden couple realized their influence has limits.
Flirtatious with him. He is flirtatious back, but they're talking about their spouses, and it's all in good fun. She laughs and says, oh, did you get beard on me?
Megyn Kelly is leading the media charge, and she is not pulling any punches. With decades of experience dismantling Hollywood PR machines, Kelly has been dissecting the Blake Lively versus Justin Baldoni lawsuit piece by piece. She is calling out what she describes as a series of contradictions, distortions, and outright falsehoods that were meant to destroy a man's career. According to Kelly, this was not just a legal filing. It was a shady, agenda-driven move designed to seize control of a film. She even brought on Baldoni's powerhouse attorney to break down how the couple allegedly manipulated the media to smear him. The facade of the perfect couple is being stripped away in real time.
Laughs and says, oh, did you get beard on me? She doesn't say, oh my God, you nuzzled me, and said that I smell.
One of the most damaging bombshells Kelly exposed was the infamous breastfeeding claim. In her original lawsuit, Blake alleged that Baldoni walked into her trailer while she was breastfeeding, making her feel violated and uncomfortable. It sounds like a horrific breach of privacy until you look at the actual text messages. Kelly revealed that Blake literally invited him in to run lines while she was breastfeeding, making it crystal clear she had zero issues with it at the time. It was only later, when she needed to build a case of harassment, that she allegedly twisted the narrative. Kelly tore into this manipulation, calling it a desperate attempt to frame Baldoni as a creep when he was just following her lead.
What she's done throughout. She said, he came in my trailer while I was breastfeeding. Well, then he produced the text messages showing her saying, I'm breastfeeding, come on.
The texts show that.
Then there is the bizarre dance scene accusation that even had Kelly laughing at its absurdity. Blake's lawsuit claimed that Baldoni made inappropriate comments about her body odor during a scene where they had to dance together, but the actual context reveals a completely different story. It turns out Blake herself was the one joking about how bad she smelled after sweating on set. When Baldoni gave a totally neutral, casual response like, yeah, it smells good, she allegedly transformed that moment into a harassment claim. Kelly pointed out how pathetic this was, describing it as a perfect example of a Hollywood elite trying to manufacture outrage where there was absolutely none to be found.
It's one example.
Used to create this dance scene, and no such moment is shown. Just watch it. Watch it. Right, and then says, smells good, and she says, it's my body makeup. That's her big harassment moment. They are playfully acting for the camera, trying to make it look like two lovers, two people in a.
Then there's the insane.
Ryan Reynolds is not escaping the heat either, as Kelly exposed his alleged role as Blake's personal attack dog. She called him out for allegedly screaming at Baldoni behind the scenes and pressuring him to hand over creative control of the film. According to Kelly, Ryan was not just a supportive husband, he was an active participant in trying to destroy Baldoni's reputation to help Blake seize the movie. Now that the receipts are coming out, Blake is reportedly scrambling for a gag order to shut Baldoni down. Kelly mocked this move, asking why poor Blake is so afraid of the full context being released. They did not just play dirty, they got caught playing dirty in front of the whole world.
She accuses him of doing something, which then when you hear the full context is an absolute.
The criticism reached a fever pitch when Chelsea Handler took the stage at the Critics' Choice Awards. Known for her unapologetic humor, Handler used her monologue to mock the lively Baldoni dispute in front of the entire industry. She sarcastically thanked the couple for providing a much-needed distraction from the horrors of the world, but the underlying message was clear. Handler pointed out that no matter whose side you were on, everyone could agree there would never be a sequel to It Ends With Us. When a comedian of her stature mocks a scandal like this, it signals a massive shift in how the industry views you. They are no longer the untouchable darlings, they are the punchline.
in all of this.
To try this case in the media. The only reason this whole thing got started before she filed the lawsuit, she just went to the California Human Rights Office, is because she clearly cooperated with the New York Times to leak the whole.
Kelly has
Handler's satire served to further erode the carefully curated images of Lively and Reynolds, painting them as out-of-touch celebrities embroiled in a self-inflicted crisis. It was a pivotal moment in the court of public opinion. As the legal battle continues, the couple faces not only challenges within the courtroom, but also the relentless judgment of a public that is increasingly skeptical of their every move. The viral nature of Handler's remarks amplified the scrutiny, making it impossible for the couple to hide behind their typical PR charm. Hollywood is watching their image crumble, and the peers they once dominated are now the ones leading the laughter from the front row.
Now she wants a complete gag order. Now he needs to be shut down to protect her. This is very unfair to poor Blake. Why should Justin be able to release snippets to the media without the full context? That's what she said.
Candace Owens entered the fray with a scorched earth critique, calling Ryan Reynolds a manipulative narcissist who has isolated Blake from reality. Owens did not just criticize the lawsuit, she obliterated the couple's entire public persona. According to her, this entire situation is a textbook Hollywood hit job. She argues that Ryan and Blake staged PR attacks on Justin Baldoni specifically to erase him from his own project. Owens has been vocal about how Hollywood elites weaponize the media to control narratives, and in her eyes, this was a perfectly executed smear campaign meant to destroy Baldoni's career before he even had a chance to fight back against the power of the Reynolds machine.
I acknowledge that we've been through a lot lately, not just here in Los Angeles, but our entire country.
Handler, a renowned.
Owens dug deep into the layers of the drama and exposed how the couple allegedly used the New York Times to run a hit piece. The story favored Blake, spinning her as the helpless victim while painting Baldoni as a predator. But when people actually examined the full text messages and emails, the story began to unravel. It turns out Blake was not some helpless actress being harassed. She was allegedly using her connections and her husband's PR muscle to manipulate the entire production. Owens pointed out that the public is finally seeing the consequences of their actions, and she feels absolutely zero sympathy for the severe anguish the couple claims to be experiencing right now.
Waking up every day, not knowing what news we are going to hear that will disappoint or horrify us. So it is important in times like these to have a distraction.
Perhaps the most shocking revelation from Owens involves the Deadpool and Wolverine marketing campaign. She uncovered evidence that Ryan Reynolds allegedly had scenes inserted into the promotional materials that were blatant digs at Baldoni. While the lawsuit was brewing, Reynolds allegedly used his massive platform to mock the situation. One clip featured Deadpool joking about being erased from Hollywood in a smear campaign, while another referenced false harassment claims. Owens called this one of the most blatant examples of Hollywood bullying she has ever seen. They were not just trying to bury his career, they were laughing about it on a global stage while promoting a blockbuster movie.
I want to personally extend my gratitude to Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively.
The bullying reportedly went even further during the Deadpool and Wolverine premiere. Baldoni's colleagues and castmates from It Ends With Us were all invited to the event, where they allegedly had to sit and watch these mocking jokes play out on the big screen. Owens pointed out the cruelty of inviting someone's co-workers to laugh at their downfall in real time. It was a power move designed to show Baldoni that he was completely alone and that the Reynolds empire could crush him whenever they wanted. Owens made it clear that Ryan was not just defending his wife, he was going for Baldoni's throat, allegedly accusing him of horrific things just to secure a win in the media.
Thank you for providing us with that distraction. I'm grateful. I think we're all grateful. And I think we're good.
Owens also exposed a secret strategy involving Taylor Swift. According to her, the couple kept dropping Swift's name in meetings to intimidate anyone who stood in their way. They allegedly told Baldoni that Taylor Swift had personally cast certain actors in the film, a claim that Swift's team has since completely denied. This was not just a casual name drop, it was a calculated power move. By making it seem like the most powerful woman in music was on their side, they tried to make Baldoni feel like he had no control over his own movie. It was a psychological tactic designed to isolate him, but now that Swift is distancing herself, the entire strategy is blowing up in their faces.
I think everybody in this room, no matter whose side you're on, we can all agree to accept that there's probably not going to be a sequel.
Ben Shapiro joined the chorus of critics, dismantling the couple's PR strategy with surgical precision. He focused on Blake Lively's tone-deaf press tour, pointing out how she made a complete fool of herself while promoting a film about domestic abuse. The movie was supposed to be a serious project about toxic relationships, but Blake turned the interviews into a walking contradiction. Shapiro highlighted a moment where a reporter asked how fans should approach her to discuss the film's heavy themes. Instead of a thoughtful answer, Blake joked about sharing her location or phone number with strangers. It was a moment that demanded sensitivity, but she chose to act like she was at a comedy club.
That I watch and the more that I read, the more infuriated I become because it seems like it's never ending. I can't get to a bottom of their bullying.
And
Shapiro also ripped into the irony of Blake launching a liquor brand at the same time she was promoting a movie about domestic violence. Statistically, alcohol is one of the biggest factors in domestic abuse cases, yet Blake saw no issue with pushing her booze business alongside a story of survival. Shapiro pointed out that you cannot play the victim and the business mogul at the same time without looking completely out of touch. He argued that this shows how Hollywood elites often use social issues as nothing more than marketing tools to line their own pockets. The contradiction was so glaring that it became impossible for the public to ignore, further damaging her credibility.
To sway public opinion, and Blake Lively's PR team wants us to know that everything that's happening right now is hurting Blake's.
The media cover-up surrounding Ryan's behavior was another major point for Shapiro. While the press was busy writing sob stories about Blake's alleged mistreatment, the mainstream media refused to report on Ryan's alleged screaming matches and threats against Baldoni. Shapiro pointed out how the press painted Ryan as the loyal, supportive husband when, in reality, he was allegedly running a damage control operation to silence anyone who disagreed with Blake's vision. They tried to rewrite the entire narrative to make Baldoni the villain, but Shapiro noted that the text messages prove Baldoni was just trying to do his job while dealing with a serious back injury.
You guys have paused to consider that Blake's feelings might be getting hurt in all of this. Well, if it isn't the consequences of my own actions.
The dragon metaphor used in the lawsuit has become a symbol of the couple's alleged bullying. Blake reportedly referred to Ryan and their powerful friends as her dragons in a text message to Baldoni, implying they were a force he could not defeat. Shapiro called this classic Hollywood bullying at its worst. It shows a level of arrogance that is hard for the average person to fathom. They believed they were untouchable because of their connections, but they did not account for the fact that even dragons can be brought down by the truth. The very people they used as shields are now the ones running for the hills as the legal heat intensifies.
Lively sources say Justin Baldoni lawsuit is causing her and Ryan Reynolds severe anguish. They are anguished by the things that they did.
Taylor Swift's involvement is the biggest wild card in this entire disaster. For years, she and Blake were the ultimate golden duo, sharing family moments and vacationing together. But as soon as the receipts from the lawsuit started dropping, Taylor's PR team reportedly made a sharp U-turn. They are now scrambling to distance her from the mess, claiming she had no idea her name was being used as leverage. This is a massive blow to Blake, who built her entire case on the idea that she had the most powerful allies in the world backing her up. Without Taylor in her corner, Blake looks less like a victim and more like someone who got caught in a lie.
Ryan Reynolds, who has been named in one of the suits, so I wanted to tell you guys that. I wanted to tell you also that I feel nothing.
The situation for Taylor is getting legally dangerous. Because her name is all over the lawsuit and mentioned in multiple text messages, she could be subpoenaed to testify. This is Taylor Swift's worst nightmare. Under oath, she cannot spin the narrative like she does in her songs. If she tells the truth and contradicts Blake's claims, the friendship is over forever. If she tries to cover for her friend and gets caught, she faces perjury charges. This is why her team is reportedly in full panic mode, trying to erase any connection to the lawsuit before it spirals further. The mastermind of PR is finally facing a situation she cannot control.
I literally feel nothing, so much nothingness. I've never felt more nothingness.
TMZ recently dropped a report alleging that Taylor's team is now claiming Blake Lively is lying about her involvement. This is the ultimate betrayal in the world of celebrity friendships. If Taylor's camp is willing to go on the record and call Blake a liar, it means the ship is officially sinking. Candace Owens believes Taylor is only doing this to save her own skin, knowing that being used as a weapon in a smear campaign could destroy her own carefully managed reputation. Taylor knows exactly when to cut her losses, and it looks like Blake Lively is the latest loss to be cut. The sisterhood was apparently only as deep as the PR benefits lasted.
Of all this, I feel myself being strangely angry at Justin for being so nice.
The public perception has shifted from seeing Blake as a fashion icon to seeing her as the lead in a mean girl narrative. People are starting to look back at her past interviews with a new lens, finding more examples of her being snarky, sarcastic, and dismissive. The lawsuit acted as a catalyst that allowed all these hidden stories of her behavior to come to the surface. It is no longer just one director complaining, it is a wave of media figures and comedians all pointing out the same patterns. The carefully curated image of the bubbly, relatable actress has been replaced by the image of a powerful elite who uses her influence to crush those beneath her.
Mocked in the credits of his own movie, that he was mocked mercilessly, endlessly in Deadpool and Wolverine by A-list actors getting involved there. We know that Justin's colleagues and fellow actors on the film.
Justin Baldoni, meanwhile, has not stayed quiet. By hiring Johnny Depp's crisis management team, he signaled that he was ready for a war. He refused to be the victim in their story and instead started releasing the evidence that proved he was acting professionally the entire time. From the weightlifting incident to the breastfeeding trailer visit, Baldoni had the receipts to back up his side of the story. This caught Blake and Ryan completely off guard. They expected him to fold under the pressure of their combined star power, but instead he stood his ground and watched as their own narrative began to crumble under the weight of the truth.
After party, Ryan accuses him, according to the lawsuit, of being a rapist when he finds some WME.
The fallout from this lawsuit is a stark reminder that even the most powerful celebrities are not immune to the truth in the digital age. Blake and Ryan tried to play a high-stakes game of narrative control, but they underestimated the power of actual evidence. In an era where every text and email is archived, the old Hollywood hit job does not work the way it used to. As their peers turn their backs and legal threats loom, the couple is finding themselves increasingly isolated in an industry that used to worship them. The golden couple is losing their shine, and it is a self-inflicted wound that might never fully heal.
Over his own film.
Reporter saying Blake Lively being sued for defamation by crisis PR firm in It Ends With Us feud. The lawsuit that has been dropped actually confirms what I told you earlier, that I had it on perfect authority, that Blake's original filing, which was with the Californian Civil Rights Department, that complaint was supposed to be the only filing. It was the ultimate bad.
Ultimately, this scandal is about the abuse of influence and the weaponization of PR to destroy careers. Whether Blake and Ryan can ever recover their status remains to be seen, but the curtain has been pulled back. The world now sees the calculated machinery behind the smiles and the aggressive tactics used to protect their brand. As Taylor Swift tries to exit the narrative and the legal battle rages on, one thing is certain: the era of the untouchable Hollywood golden couple is over. They thought they were the dragons in this story, but they might just end up being the ones who get burned by the fire they started.